setup started of the warp. I've got my 16-inch rigid heddle here. The warp length needs to be actually even longer than my extended dining table, so use of the ironing board up there with my warping peg. And then I've pulled these from my stash, and I'm going to use, hang on, I'm dipping down, pick up, forgive me that. I'm going to use just some plain cream merino on the warp, just for this first one. So let's see how we go. So we've now moved into the kitchen, as you can see. I do like to move around when I weave. I've tied on the warp, wound it on, there, and now I've got to begin following Elisa's instructions or the recipe to make the Mobius cowl. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to plant myself. Probably take it back into my craft room, I think. Or I might sit in here. Who knows? Do you remember the little seedlings I planted outside that I thought were dead? Well, I think I might get 2 or 3 lettuces, which would be very cool. Despite the frost last night, they seem to be doing okay, unlike that tree behind. Good morning. And he's got a cob on. Sorry, that was probably funnier to me than you, but it just made me laugh. And Henry, obviously, is there. So, excuse me, I have a blooming, blinking cold. That's what I have, that's all it is. I know that's all it is because it's been coming and going for about the last 4 months. Oh, I wish it would either come out or go. It goes for a little while and then it comes back and then it goes and then it comes back. So I'm very eye-y, as you can probably see. Are you eye-y? Eye-y? Yeah. And I've got my cough, which is my cold cough, not a COVID cough. I feel like I have to keep saying that, just to reassure everybody that it's fine. This is normal me, innit, honey? This is normal us. Oh, yes, Mum. I talked about this sweater as well. This is my So Faded. I've had this. It was the first, obviously it's one of the first sweaters Andrea Mowry put out, the patterns, and I made it and I absolutely love it. And I wear it a lot, actually. Again, over dresses, it works really well. So today I have already walked the loom, as you would have seen. Done my, well, a bit more than my half an hour for someone making something for someone else. That's up and running in the craft room. I took it back into my craft room. And I have put a wash load in and I feel like I've done more than that. Oh, I've knit on some of my juniper socks, which is my kind of early morning cup of tea knitting now to try and get the juniper socks done. I was so cheesed off. I thought I had one more pattern repeat to do and I did it and I was, yay! And it was shorter than the first one. And I must have added 2 extra pattern repeats to the first one because they did come up quite short and I like my socks a bit longer. So then I thought I was going to get the heel flap done this morning, but I didn't. I just did the 2 extra pattern repeats. But that's good. They're making progress. And I'm now going to spend maybe an hour or so on my Rosa cardigan on the sleeve. I would so love to get that sleeve done because I have a little confession for you later as well. It may involve using, for the last time, one of my Get Out Jail Free cards. But I'll tell you about that a bit later. But for now, I've just taken Hannah a cup of tea up. I'm going to have my cup of tea, do a bit of sleeving, and I'll catch up with you in a bit. So forgive the noise of the dog barking next door. and the builder's the other side. But anybody who followed me on Instagram will see that I reposted a post about another use of tea leaves, and I've just sprinkled these here, but I will go inside and tell you all. So basically, where can you still hear the dog barking? There you go. Oh, it's a bit better. Is that a bit better? Up higher, it's more flattering. The post about, it was a beekeeping post that Jen sent me. And it's basically, if you put your tea leaves out, then the bees can actually get water. They can actually suck water from them. And that provides them, obviously, with much needed liquid. Tea. Bees drink tea. But it's also very good for other insects and things. So I've left mine out there. I'm going to leave them like that for a couple of days before I then go and kind of dig them in, just cover them up and mix them in with the soil. But it's another use. Oh, look, I've just caught sight of Henry in the background going down the garden. Another use for your tea leaves. So, pop that down in your notes, and you can put them out in a bowl, in an old plastic container or something. And the bees, the pollinators, can use them. They land on them and they'll come and use them for water. I just got over the walk with Henry. I didn't have a chance to do this out there. I have made the sad decision that on this hat, this pom-pom is too big. Or too heavy, more to the point, because it kept pulling it. I mean, I love this hat. This was my antler hat from Tin Can Knits. And I adore this pom-pom, but it is quite hefty. Look, it looks as big as my face. It's not as big as my face, but it does pull my hat off. So I think I might have to redistribute this elsewhere. Perhaps it can go on one of my woven cushions. It's a shame. Still, look, I'm all red-nosed and red-cheeked from my walk. Red-nosed and red-cheeked from our walk. Well, I could go again, Mum. I could go again. Can we go again? No, mate. That's it now. Okie dokie. So this is the weaving I've got done today. Obviously, I've got the loom warped as well. And I've just started, very simply, striping some colours. This is a Ching fibre. It's really pretty. That's purple Angora. That one I can't remember. It was left over as a gift from someone. And this is my hand spun. I'm not overly excited by a plain warp like this. I don't normally use plain warp, but we're going to see for this one. I didn't want to Put a whole load of expensive hand-dyed yarn on the warp, only to then muck up the weaving, as this is a technique I've not done before. So hopefully it will still look really pretty. We'll see how we go. But that's going, well, I would say it's going away for tonight. It's actually staying there, and I'm going away for I'm going into the other room. Okay, we're set again. It's a little bit, oh, it's dusk outside, so I've put our lights on in here, so apologies for the, if it's a bit yellowy and horrible light-wise, but, you know, without the benefit of a professional recording studio or a setup, then this is what we got. We've had dinner, we're all sorted, ready to settle down for the evening. And so I just wanted to come and finish up for today, and I want to do my confession. As well. You've already seen a bit of a clue in the last clip. Dun, da, 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 da. After much soul searching and debate and things with my inner conscience. I'm looking that way and the camera's that side. I'm sorry. I was really super keen to start the Paloma sweater using the LBA that we agreed on, that the majority voted on anyway. And what I ended up doing was looked long and hard at all the different mohairs available, and then realised that it was a bit daft because actually I'm not super fond of them. I don't really like mohair. I do find it a little bit irritating, I have to say, on my skin. But what I do love and can cope with is the Suri alpaca blend, the floof as it's known, I think. Having said that, obviously that is not inexpensive. And I had a good old hunt around, and well, the colourway that I was going to get would have been from Debbie down Sheepy Lane with, I've forgotten the colourway name, but it's this perfect soft peach colour. But again, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't afford to spend £80 on some yarn that was going to be a second yarn to the sweater. So, and this is my problem with these sweaters that are where everything's held double. If you buy that sort of quality yarn, the indie dyed yarn, it just makes for such an expensive sweater, especially in the current times when, you know, obviously we're trying to save money, and regardless of my whole, you know, sustainable not buying new thing, spending that much money at the best of times, when I've already spent, you know, the money on the La Bien-Aimée yarn. Anyhow, that's not to say it's not worth it. A lot of people do it, and the jumpers are spectacular. But what I did, and because I wasn't convinced of the colourway, which colour to buy, so that was my skein. Again, the colours, oh, that's really going to blow out, isn't it? You remember the colourway. The Pêche Mignon from La Bien-Aimée. So it's got peach and aqua speckles in it, basically. And so I was a bit cheeky. I bought 4 skeins of undyed Suri alpaca from bluefaced.net, which is the retail version of Chester wool, I think. And it was, obviously because it's undyed, it was half the price that it would have been buying it from an indie dyer. So it was £10 a skein, and I needed 4 skeins. So I have, my confession is, I didn't want to wait till the end of Lent, so I'm using one of my get out of jail free cards. Now, by my reckoning, this will be the third get out of jail free card I've used out of my 5. One of which was Mum's birthday gift voucher. One was the Instant Pot, which again, ironically, I haven't used because it turns out it's the silicone rings that are stinky as well. And then it'll be this. I'm sure that's all I bought new then in the past 36 days. So, and I had made a deal with myself that once I got the first sleeve net on Rosa, then I would, at least tonight, I would swatch for the Palermo sweater. And I am swatching for this because obviously it's not a combination of yarn that I've ever knit with before, and it's a lot of knitting and I didn't want to muck it up. So I'm on with the Rosa cardigan. I am halfway on the rib of the cuff, and I'm not going to show you that tonight. I'll save that for tomorrow, but I will finish that rib tonight. And I have been swatching. Now, I can't put that too close. No, look at that. That's gross. So tomorrow in the daylight, I will share this with you. But this was the needle size, the 4.5mm needle. Predictably, I had to go down a needle size. I went down to a 4, that one, which gave me perfect gauge, but of course this has got to be washed and blocked. So I'm now going to do a few rows on 3.75, cast off, wash it, leave it to dry overnight, and then see. I suspect, sadly, it'll be the 3.75, but that's actually not too sad because I already have the needles ready for that. This one, I love this the feel of the fabric, but I'm pretty sure it will stretch a bit. But it's quite a light fabric, which says it's absolutely beautiful, this. I wish I could show you the colours now, but you have to wait till tomorrow. It's gonna look spectacular. It really is. And it's, oh, I love the Suri alpaca, the floof. Funnily enough, when I first began spinning, I used to go to a farm about half an hour north of here. It was an alpaca farm. They're very well known in the alpaca world. They show alpacas and win all sorts of things. I've got this in a tangle now. And I used to I became friends with the owner and met the alpacas. And I used to buy the fleeces, and I used to hand card the fleece, and then I got a drum carder, and then spin them, natural dye them and spin them. And that's what I did for a whole year, really. I was doing that, and I used to go and visit Vicky and show her what I'd made and the things, because I was weaving as well then. And at the time, I really preferred those. I don't know if you know, there's two types of alpaca. There's the wakaya, which is principally the fibres that are used, which is very airy and curly. And my favourite, actually, when I was buying the fleeces, definitely my favourite, wakaya, as in Huac, Caya. And then there was the suri, Suri. And I didn't like the suri. I had some to spin and to card, but it just felt a bit creepy. It was like kind of human hair because it was quite long. The staple length is a lot longer and quite heavy. It's quite a heavy fibre. And I really didn't like it. I much preferred the wakaya. But now, of course, suri here, but there is the tiniest amount in there. So it's light and fluffy, but there you are. Oh, got something in my eye, excuse me a sec, it's probably a bit of floof. So that's about it. That was my confession. It's been a pretty good day today. It was lovely out with Henry, although cold, and this evening I've got cold, I must admit, I'm quite chilly. So I think we're going to go and hunker down in the lounge. I am going to finish this swatch, and then I'm going to finish the cuff on the first sleeve of my Rosa cardigan. I'm feeling all fired up with my knitting. I've also chosen another sweater I want to knit, and I'm really excited about that. This is what happens when I start watching podcasts. But I will share that with you tomorrow. I will be doing some more weaving tomorrow, cracking on with that. I will be doing, obviously, some more knitting. I will have a look at my little seed progress as well, my seeds. And chatting to Jen today, I realised I haven't given you a tour of how my houseplants are doing. So there you are. What an exciting vlog you've got to look forward to tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you have a really pleasant evening. And my cold seems to have abated a little bit tonight, which is good. I realise when I watch these vlogs just how nasal I sound. So again, apologies for that, but I guess that's me for you. Yeah, have a lovely evening and take care, look after yourself, and I will see you tomorrow.